Putin takes action to seize naughty Western companies' assets as they flee Russia. Vladimir Putin has signed a secret decree making it more difficult for Western companies to leave Russia and seizing their assets. The Kremlin is reportedly considering measures to fully nationalize businesses and last week signed an order allowing officials to appropriate naughty Western assets at cut-rate rates, as reported by the Financial Times. The move would grant the Russian government first dibs on purchasing any Western asset being sold at a significant discount, in order to resell it for a profit. It also mandates that any private firms interested in purchasing Western companies must be 100% Russian-held or actively working to eliminate all foreign shareholders. Mr. Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, recently told the Financial Times that Western investors and companies were more than welcome in Russia, despite the fact that some had ceased paying salaries altogether or had relocated outside of the country at a huge loss. He continued, "Of course, a company is considered bad if it does not meet its obligations. We're done with those businesses. We can then do whatever we like with their assets." It follows the decision of several major Western corporations to maintain operations in Russia despite Putin's military campaign in Ukraine. Despite having three serious suitors, Philip Morris International, maker of Marlboro cigarettes, has decided it would rather keep its operations in Russia. The CEO of Unilever, Alan Jope, has stated that the company will not abandon its 3,000 or so employees in Russia or allow its assets to be seized by the Kremlin. Meanwhile, in February, Heineken expressed concern over what it called the very real risk of having Russia nationalize its local business. If the Dutch brewer suspends or closes its operations in Russia, Russian officials say it will be considered intentional bankruptcy, and the Kremlin may appoint external managers. Businesses from France in particular have been criticized for continuing operations in Russia, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accusing several companies of sponsoring the Russian war machine. Last year, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III extended gratitude to the 50 countries that have donated training and equipment to the Ukrainian military. "Ukraine's fight is a marathon, not a sprint," he said, "so this backing is needed for the long haul." Today, at the beginning of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group's 13th meeting in Brussels, Belgium, he delivered the opening remarks. To protect its citizens, Ukraine urgently needs air defense assets and munitions, and he urged the contact group to continue to dig deep to secure those resources for the country. Austin expressed appreciation to the Netherlands and Denmark for leading the charge in educating Ukrainian pilots on F-16s and other fourth-generation aircraft. As for Germany and Poland, he said, "Thank you very much for your assistance in maintaining Ukraine's Leopard tanks." According to him, the United States has been consistently providing defensive weapons to Ukraine. The Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative announced last week a package of over $2 billion. Additional 105mm and 203mm artillery rounds were included in that shipment, in addition to munitions for Patriot and Hawk air defense systems. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden approved a $325 million security aid package from existing Defense Department stocks. This package includes dozens of additional Bradley infantry fighting vehicles and Stryker armored personnel carriers, as well as munitions for National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile Systems and high-mobility artillery rocket systems. Additionally, we will also continue to adapt our assistance to meet the changing circumstances on the ground and the changing needs of Ukraine's forces, he added. Austin added that it has become abundantly clear that Ukraine requires a force that is compatible with the armed forces of its allies and partners. The contact group's discussions will center on the best strategies for achieving this goal.